Hi everybody, welcome to the Rambling Toffee podcast. This is my first podcast, so hopefully you'll enjoy what ramblings that I bring out today. Anyway, let's get straight to it. Where can we start? Being an Evertonian is a very interesting pastime, a wonderful hobby. Supporting this football club for over 40 years. I've seen the highs, I've seen the lows, and I've seen the really, really lows. Where can I start? So, what I'm going to talk about is something very, very simple as the start of this podcast and see where I go with it. The biggest thing that I want to speak to everybody about and what my view is of this is, of course, the board, of course, the owner, the chairman, the football club in general, and my feelings towards what is actually happening at this moment in time and what's been going on for the last, I don't know how many years. It's worth counting on your fingers. Um, the biggest thing that I am frustrated about more than anything else at this moment in time regarding the football club is its lack of engagement, its lack of communication with the fan base, with the custodians of this football club. When I look at myself, I'm a season ticket holder, and I invest my money year in, year out to go to the game, to home games predominantly. I don't get to the away games. And I just feel that the football club engaging with its fan base regarding anything, not just regarding the footballing side of things, regarding transfers, regarding the academy, regarding everything that is football related. When it comes to engaging with me or with all our fans um, on everything that is happening behind the scenes, from commercial deals, from um, what direction the football club wants to go and how it wants to get there. In essence, a lot of the time, what my thinking is, I don't want to know the ins and outs of everything. All I want to know is clarity and understanding of where we're going and what direction we're going to go into. Um, and what I've seen over the many years supporting this club is drip feeding of information. It doesn't come directly from the club. It comes from journalists. They get little bits of information. They put it out there on nowadays on social media, put it in print press, and they put it out there in our own newspapers. But because of the way the world is now, and social media being 24-hour instant news and instant news that we all want news instantly, it it becomes a point that as a fan, we want to hear it from the horse's mouth. We want to hear it from the club itself. Just an understanding of what pathway, what direction, where are we going to head, where are we going to. It's all I'm hearing at the moment, or all I get at this moment in time, when it's regarding the stadium. It's very, very easy, new stadium, to put stories out on their official channels because it's going according to plan. Stadium's going up, and it's going, and hopefully it'll be open for the 2025-26 season. In the middle of that, but we don't know yet. We'll have to see how that far goes. But at least there's communication going regarding clarity, regarding everything about the stadium and what it's going to become and everything about it. And as time goes on, we'll find out about if you're a season ticket holder, where you want to sit and where you want to go. But we're getting that communication, so we can kind of say we can leave that to one side. But when it comes to everything regarding the football club, and especially at this moment in time where basically the kind of communication you would want from the football club, which was 2 weeks ago or just over a week ago, where basically resignations were made by more board members. And then, of course, within that statement, everybody's been talking about this. An interim appointments would be made in the next 48 hours. Obviously, typical of Everton, that they do not communicate anything after that statement. Nothing is said. We don't know what's happening with Bill Kenwright. We don't know if he's leaving. What's the decisions with that? What's the decision with the investment of the football club coming in? What's going to happen? The decision has been made regarding the 3 board members. All we know is currently Bill Kenwright is the only director of the board at the club at this moment in time. There's been no kind of announcements from the club since that day regarding who the new interim board members are going to be. We don't know what they are. It could be what's been speculated being George Downing and Andy Bell, and maybe people from MSP. We don't know. And again, as I'm speaking now and talking about this, all it is speculation. All it is if, buts, and maybes. It could be this, it could be that. And it's a little bit of information that we can get from, say, a journalist. Or it's getting little bits of information which is being filtered. All Evertonians want, all I want, is clarity. All I want to know is what's going to happen to my football club. I invest my money as a season ticket holder. I buy merchandise. I buy food at the ground. I deserve, or I feel I deserve. Some people may think I'm wrong. I deserve to know what's going on with this football club. My football club. I'm entitled to say that. Thousands of pounds has been spent by myself on this football club, and I feel that I should have some sort of clarity, some sort of communication, some understanding of what's going on at the football club. I don't want to know the ins and outs of the technicalities and all the ins and outs. All I want to know is somebody at the football club to sit down, being interviewed by anybody. I would always probably pick Alan Myers because I think his engagement with the fan base has always been fantastic. As a journalist, of course, I'm working for Sky, but he's always tried to keep Evertonians in a loop if he knows of any stories that's out there and whatever information he can get, and he tries to give as much clarity as possible. But he's going getting the same sort of information that other journalists are probably getting or whatever. But all it takes is somebody to sit down and just say, look, right, this is what we want to do. We want to get this club to a position where we can be challenging again, being competitive, wanting to be in Europe, wanting to be a competent football club, wanting to get the best commercial deals for the club, but also for the stadium. The stadium is also going to be a link into this. And all this wonderful stuff, but give us something to grab onto and believe in and think, great, this is going to be good. And also the people who are coming in are strong personalities and strong people who want to drive this football club forward. Because at the moment, year in, year out, we get the accounts late on. That's again no communication. They want to leave it as late as possible. And we make loss upon loss upon loss. And when we refer to, and what's it all about for me and for all of us, is the football side. It's football. This is all we want to talk about. We want to talk about football. We want to talk about transfers. We want to talk about who's coming in, who's leaving the club, whoever we need to strengthen. What tactics are playing, what Sean Dyche is going to have, and what money there's, what is basically going on. Hopefully, we're supposedly going to be hearing from the director of football regarding all that. Hopefully, he'll give more information. I don't know, because it says it's supposed to be a couple of weeks' time. Well, this is into the second week, so we might hear something this week. I don't know. But the way the club's run at the moment, and the fact there's only one director on the board, then you don't know what's going to be put out there. And again, it goes back to what I started with about engagement and communication. And if you make things clear to fans and say, this is what we're going to do, this is the path we want to go, it's going to be difficult, it's going to be a struggle, it's going to be hard, but stick behind us, we're going in the right pathway, we've got a plan, we've got an idea, this is what we're trying to do. But nothing is coming out of the club. And that is what is wrong. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. And the worst thing is this, is that, in my mind, is I would like to see the team being strengthened. But do we have money to do so? And if you've only got one director, how is that going to operate? How are we going to get that to negotiate with agents and negotiate with clubs and get players to come to this football club? And even if it's a free transfer, speaking to that player to come up with for a contract for them, and players who want to leave. But all things are up in the air. How does it work? How are we going to get there? We can all speculate and think, well, they could do this, and that. But reality is, they do it in a different way. And if we talk about going back in time here, when Moshiri was being interviewed by Fab in January, there was a chain of command and a way that a transfer would work. It would go with Kevin Felwell goes to Bill Kenwright, and then Bill Kenwright, it gets signed off, and then sent to Moshiri, and then it goes, and then the negotiations start with the club and try and get the player through. That's old school way. What needs to happen is a scenario here that there's your money, there's the bulk of the money, there's the money for your transfer, Kitty, okay? It's available, it's there, it's in that account. Moshiri said, it's there. There's the money. Kevin, I trust you. You go out with Sean Dyche as well. You look, identify the players. You can go into that account. You can put that money. You speak to the agents. You do the negotiations. Let the director of football be the responsible one. Be the one to speak to the clubs, to the players, to the agents, to the whole thing of that. And also with players being released and letting players go. It has to be one person, I believe, and the footballing person is the best person, I believe. Now the question comes down to, is Kevin Felwell the right person to do that? Because the feeling I get with Kevin Felwell is that he's an admin. He's an administrator. He's not like a Marcel Brands, where basically he's not just an administrator and trying to change the academy and change the culture of the football club, but also is somebody who can speak to the media and can be very good at doing that job as well. But I don't know, because I've always seen one interview with him in how many years? He's been here 2 years, and that's the only time I've seen him. And I would like to see more of him. That again, it goes back to engaging with the fan base and communicating with the fan base. Simple as that. And it always goes back to that. If you correct that issue and be open, then fans will be a little bit more responsive to it and not as negative to anything that is being offered and operated. And that is the crux of this story. But as I ramble on, regardless of this, we need instantly, as soon as possible, we need to know who the new boarder coming in, interim or not. We need to know if the investment's coming in. We need to hear more from Moshiri. We need more communication. We need people to talk to its fan base instead of just hiding in a hole and just forgetting about us. Because I'll go back to the very simple core of this. There's 35,000, I think, I may be wrong, please tell me if I'm wrong, season ticket holders who pay for a season ticket year in, year out. They pay their money We put our money to go to watch our football club. We pay for merchandise. There are members who pay their money year in, year out so they can get an opportunity to get tickets. There is also the fans who go away who pay their money to travel. There are fans all over the world who come to Goodison every so often, want to watch the team that they support. And they're the people, we are the people that you need to communicate to. We're paying, we're helping finance the financial side of this football club in one small situation. But, and the biggest one that I want to say, I nearly forgot to mention this, is the shareholders. And the shareholders who have invested a certain amount of money in one share, a bit of Everton Football Club, they also should be given the opportunity to know what's going on at this football club. The annual general meetings, what they took away from the shareholders, to at least give them an opportunity to ask difficult questions, to ask what is going on at this football club, what is your plan, where are you taking this club? Because the biggest thing is, we are in 2023. We don't move into the stadium until probably 2025 at the earliest. It might be before that. But in that period of time, and ever since the stadium's been in, all kind of communication that we had, not this year, but last year, it's always on the stadium. Soon as we get in that stadium, everything's going to be hunky-dory, wonderful, and everything be great. But we have to get there. And we have made losses after loss after loss, year on year on year. We've got a Premier League independent inquiry getting ahead on the 25th of October. Now, as much as speculation is because it's something to do with a loan and tax to the stadium, it doesn't matter. There's an inquiry taking place. We may walk away perfectly fine and nothing happens. But that we're in that position. We've got the Carlo Ancelotti suing the club now. There is constantly negative. There's constantly always about everything that's going wrong at this club is about money. Money, 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 money. Something has to give. And I may ramble about this, but where my thinking is this: please just engage. It's a plea from me, it's a plea from probably every Evertonian out there. Speak to us. That's all it is, simple. Don't treat us like children. We are not children, we're adults. If you treat us like an adult, we'll act like an adult. If you treat us like children, we will act like children. And what is actually happening at the moment, you can look at social media, you can look at things. There is a patient that is it's gone now. The patience is gone. And there's a growing anger, gradually, slowly building to a point. All it takes is that in communication and that engagement. And I'll keep on randomly talking about this, and I'll keep on talking about engagement and communication. You do that right, you get the right people in, you get the right operation, you get the right direction, we will be happy. We will go with wherever this football club goes. If we get relegated next season, we'll go in the Championship. Doesn't matter. We will support the football club 100%. I will get behind this club to the day I die. It's my life. I think about Everton from the minute I wake up to the minute I go to sleep. I wake up in the early hours of the morning. I want to know what's happening with Everton. It's been part of my life for 40-something years, and it will continue till I die. I have a family. I want my son to become an Evertonian. and want to go to games when he's older. I want that to happen. But I also, I want if this club can be as engaged and in the best way it can possibly be, and help us to understand what is needed to get this club back on track and going in the right direction. We will support wherever you go, but please communicate that to us, because if you don't, you get what's currently happening. We're speculating, personal, you're getting very personal about certain people on the board who are on the board, and it gets angry. The fan base are always, a lot of the time I've seen on social media, arguing amongst themselves, because in reality, the only simple thing I'll say, the big picture is this: we all need to be together, and we all want the same situation. We want the same situation. We want to be at the top. We want to be the best. We want to be what we should be. And as it says on the badge, and we all can take it, Neil Sattis, Nisa Optimum, nothing but the best is good enough. If we are not that club, we should take that down. As simple as that, we should take that away. We are no longer that club. But if we believe, and our history indicates this, that we should be at the top of the game, that we should be challenging for honours, that we should be winning trophies, that we should be in European competitions, that we should be having the best players and should have a great academy and all that wonderful things, and a great stadium to have, that we're going to go towards. All it takes is for the club to give its intentions, to give clarity, transparency, put it out there. Tell us. Please tell us. It's simple. All it takes is one person to sit in front of a camera, speak for half an hour. It doesn't matter how long you want to speak for. Just say, right, things have been bad over the last few years, but we want to get it better. We want to get this club back to where it should be. And we're going to start doing and This is our plans. This is our ideas. But to get there, it's going to be tough because of the situation that we're currently in. But we're going to get there slowly, but we want you on our side. And we will make sure that we engage with you, put out, any information that we can to you, to the FAB, to the fans forum, to those groups, and make them work and actually be used for the right thing, but also for the FAB and the fans forum, to challenge them with questions and challenge with hard getting proper answers to challenging questions. That's what needs to happen as well. And that, if you get that kind of communication back into, you get the right people and they're pushing the right communication, doing the right thing, Everton will get right behind it. And what we see, if things are struggling, we'll get behind it. If on the team, if we get behind it, if it means we can't get all the players that we want, we're going to use the academy more. Whatever it may be, please. That's all it takes. And if you get positive, and if you get people who are coming out and positive and saying, yes, this is where we want to go, but to get there, we're going to have to do a lot of things that we don't really want to do, but we have to do it. And if you pass that to the fan base, we'll all say, go for it. We're with you 100%. And then when you get a fan base and a board and a club everywhere aligned together, it's a win. Because you're going to go with them together. And if you put the people, the fans, and the board and the club and everybody, and the owner, even the owner, all together as one, instead of split, the world's your oyster, and we'll support back anything that you want us to. and that's the main thing. So the simple thing about this podcast today is it's always been about engagement. It's always been about communication, and it's just asking the board, well, the owner at this moment in time, to communicate, get the right people in. But reality is that we need to do it as soon as possible. That's the feeling I have. If we had clarity of the situation, that we knew that these appointments will be made, if the statement was written right, if we knew knew the right people coming in, and you communicated continually to keep us up to date, then I think, we won't be worrying or speculating, or we're doing this, doing that. We won't be getting panicked. We won't thinking, I think we're going to struggle next season, or a hope, will deteriorate. We'll lose our hope, which we don't want. But with each passing day at the moment, with each passing week, as it seems to be, and we're not hearing anything, nothing positive, nothing good coming from the club, that hope that we have for next season, which could be our last season in the Premier League, in at Goodison Park, it could mean that. If we had a little bit more optimism on what we see on the field, then we stay in the division, and then we could move into Bramley-Moore still in the Premier League. That's the hope. But at this moment in time, with each passing day, each passing hour, each passing day, my hope is deteriorating. It's diminishing, and I feel that if you don't communicate now, and get out the information that we need regarding the appointments, what's happening with the chairman, what's happening with the investment, are they in a bigger stake in the club? We don't know. But again, I go back to it because I've go around in circles. Just engage and communicate. It's simple. It helps. Anyway, on that note, I think I've said everything I need to say this week. Thank you for listening. Hopefully, I will do another podcast next week. Please let me know in the comments below what you think of my views and my opinions on this matter specifically. I think next week I will probably speak more about the team and about what we go forward with that. What my musings on that is, or what my ramblings on that will be. But I needed to get that out today regarding the board and the owner and everything that is regarding that at the moment in time. Anyway, for now, this is the Rambling Toffee signing off, and I'll speak to you next week. Bye.